Hello everyone, I hope you all doing well, and today I came up with a new topic, that is GD and T. So that is geometric dimensioning and tolerance. So this is the main factor we do need to consider while design and drawing processes. And the standards which we use here is, so with respect to American standards for mechanical engineers, we use Y14.5 for the GD&Ts, and with respect to ISO standards, we do refer ISO 5459 1981 for the geometric tolerance of datum and datum features. Very important, only for datum and datum features. And with respect to ISO 129, we do use it for indications of dimensions and the tolerances. There are so many things inside it. Even ISO 120 that we use for the building ships and all, so codings will differ with respect to that. These standards will differ. Comes as GD&T, what actually it is. So GD&T is a symbolic language which used to specify the size, shape, form and orientation and location of features on a particular part. So by using these GD&T symbols, we do find out the part specifications and the locations. And then next comes is GD&T was created to ensure the proper assembly of mating parts, yes, to improve the quality and reduce the cost by referring American Society of Mechanical Engineers ASME as dimensioning and the tolerancing. So we use 1994 ASME 14.5M standards. So we do also use ISO 11101 standard, okay, with respect to the GD&T, that also we use. So I forgot to mention over there, so I do mention it in later sessions. What is GD&T? So I told it's a symbolic language. It's a design tool or that communicates with the design intent. So important terms: what is datum simulator and what is the feature? These are the features, holes and slots, as well as the features and the even fillets. And the simulators, in the sense whatever you are seeing over there and the supporting things, so these are the simulators. So these considers as the primary, secondary and tertiary datums. And then important terms: datum. So these are the few things you do need to remember. So in the later session we are going to cover how to deal with these datums and all. So datum feature, in the sense this whole is the datum here directly. GD&T symbols here. So there are symbols we do need to remember. The first one is flatness, right? Then straightness, cylindricity, circularity and remaining things. It will run out and the circular run out and the concentricity, symmetry and all. So then this is this represents the location of the origin of the dimension, and this is counterbore, countersink, depth and the all around, and this is between, in between. So target point, and this is conical angle, this is slope, square. This is least material condition. M is for maximum material condition, tangent plane 40, and P for projected tolerance zone, F free state, diameter and radius. And then comes this the surface finish symbols, very important. They will ask definitely the questions on this one. So indication used for surface roughness are these, as you can see here. A is the surface value, like roughness value here they will mention. So how much roughness or how much finish we need to define over there, we'll get this. So the first symbol indicates that the roughness A obtained by any production process. So if you just follow the production process, so you will get that particular roughness, no machining, nothing. And then this one, the roughness is obtained by removal of material by machining. So machining is required for this particular component, okay, if you get this triangular shape and the extension. And then this one, it represents without removal of any material. So the surface finish will be a consideration without any material will be removed with respect to this. So you'll get this symbol here. So the next thing is, so how to read these things and all. You will have these formulas and also A is the roughness value, sorry, A is the roughness value here, and B deals with the production method, what and all things you use over there, and treatment and coating, so which coating you prefer. And then C indicates the sampling length, how much length it is there, so up to how much the surface finish should be there. Direction of lay D, okay. And then machining allowance, so how much machining allowance you want to give here, so we'll apply it here. So at this location, machining allowance, and F is the roughness value in brackets, or the roughnesses. Same thing again, the same explanation is given here, so you can refer it. So moving further comes with respect to the HT symbol. So with respect to form, we have the flatness, straightness, circularity and cylindricity. Remember those things. So flatness is nothing, the condition is here given. So with respect to the surface, with respect to the tolerance region, so this is the flatness, the condition of the surface bearing all the elements in one plane, so that is known as flat. And then straightness, if we consider the particular cylindrical object with respect to this tolerance, if it is lies under the that particular tolerance, if this particular edge, we consider that as straightness. And then circularity is nothing but this one. So if we consider the diameter only, so if it lies under the given tolerance, so that we consider circularity. So you do need to remember that each and every component has some amount of tolerances, not every component is perfect. And then cylindricity is same as that of this. So if you consider the overall surface, it too should have the proper diameter which should lie under the tolerance, so then we call it as cylindricity. So in simple, equal distance from the particular point. And then roundness, so roundness is same. And then comes under this one, we do consider this parallelism. So parallelism is nothing but with respect to particular plane, if the another plane is in parallel, like it doesn't have any deflections, so we do call it as parallelism. So the condition of a surface or a line in which the equidistance of all the points from the datum plane is or excess. So parallelism attained for the surfaces, even edges, so we do need to consider both. Remember these things. So perpendicularity with respect to face and edge we do consider. So as you can see here, the condition of the surface, axis or a line which is 90 degree to form a plane or datum axis. Angularity, it shows the angle. So the condition of a surface or axis or center plane which the specified angle of a datum. So any edge, if it is falling under the tolerance region and it has the same value everywhere, the angle, we consider it as angularity. Profile of a line, so consider this is open profile, okay, now the closed one. So if you consider particular edge on that particular surface, if it is under tolerance with respect to that edge, so we do consider that the open profile. You can see open bilateral in like even we have the unilateral tolerance and bilateral tolerance, so we do need to refer these two. And then closed profile we consider for the surfaces, so the condition permitting the uniformity along the surface, that's all. Definitions for the with respect to positions, we do have this one, the position tolerance, that is position tolerance. So exactly at this location we do define it. So we consider this as the datum A and B. So with respect to this, it has the tolerance 0.02. okay, the placement of this particular hole is like this. And then concentricity, so it is same condition at which two or more features in any combination have the common axis. Concentricity, if we can consider this model here, okay, particularly with respect to this axis, this one as well as this particular cylinder has the same axis, so we consider that as a concentricity. And simple, these definitions are not required, but if you know the concept, that is well and good. Runouts, so runout is nothing but there are two types of runouts, one is total runout and simple runout. So first runout consider only the particular edge, so is the composite deviation from the desired form of a part surface of a revolution through on full rotation 360 if it deviates somewhere with respect to C. For example, each and you already know that if you use the gauges to check the tolerance range over there, if it is lying exactly under the tolerance region with respect to that particular diameter, we can say that there is no runout with respect to that particular edge. So that is known as single runout. And total runout in the sense we do just deviate our gauge on the entire surface so that we can have the under tolerance regions. So if it is moving away, as you can see here, it considers we as we consider that as a total run out. The entire surface must not run out. Full indicator movement is more than 0.3. okay, it should lie under this region. So if it is the same, we can consider that it is not under total run out. Okay, and these are the some preferences we do need to remember. So we have given some indications here with respect to that. We have the namings. So for perpendicularity, with respect to datum A, it is perpendicular, but with respect to this tolerance, even parallelism we do refer like this. Angularity, same for total runout and the profile surface. And then we consider this particular GD&T naming. So here what it shows, first one, this is in position with, okay, with a diameter of this much, and the total tolerance is this much, and it is under maximum condition, and with respect to primary, second and tertiary datums. Okay, it shows with respect to these three datums which has the maximum material condition, okay, and then it has the tolerance this much. It shows the position of the particular cylindrical object. Next we deal with the tolerances. There are mainly four types. One is unilateral tolerance, bilateral and compound tolerance, and geometric tolerance. So you already know unilateral tolerance in the sense only one side, bilateral means both side, compound tolerance in the sense this is the case, so we won't use it in nowadays. And then so these are the symmetric bilateral tolerance, and this is variable, so asymmetric, so the lower and the upper region might vary. Okay, remember these things. And then fits, there are three types. One is clearance, transition, and the interference fit. Clearance fit in the sense we can consider it is diameter is 1.248 and it is 1.250, so our shaft can easily pass through this. And then we can consider transition fit, so it has the upper and lower regions. The tolerance region will be their clearance region, so if it is lying under the clearance region, we can say it is transition fit. It can move, but there might be some slight friction. And if we consider this one, so string fit, as we can consider ring and hub consideration example, so it has the interference fit, so which cannot, like, which won't permit you to have the rotations inside it, so it is completely patched up. So over there we can say whatever the interference region is there more than that of the particular fixing region, so shaft will be bigger than whatever the hub is there, no, so that will be smaller and the shaft will be larger one. So if you want to add it with the maximum pressure, we can just push it inside to have the condition like hub and ring. So hub and ring in the sense we do have the tractors as well as the truck rim and the hub joints. So these are the few types of projection we do need to remember with respect to these. There are three types. First one is orthographic, oblique, and the perspective. So right now we are not going to deal with oblique and the perspective. We do use the orthographic process. So there are multi-views and the axonometric, and in the multi-views we have the first angle and third angle projections. So please just follow this, what actually the first angle projection is and third angle projection is, so where we use it and why we use it. So we do follow third angle projections, even the first angle projection will be followed by the American standards and all, so do remember these things. And the axonometric, isometric, and diametric and trimetric are the views we use. So normally we do prefer isometric views, not the diametric and trimetric. With respect to some of the countries, they do prefer diametric and trimetric. So next comes is the mechanical measuring instruments. What and all will be there? So vernier caliper, so which is used to check the diameter as well as the length, minimum length and all. So I hope during graduation we do use these things. So there are three types. One is a normal one, and one with the digital, one with the gauge. So the minimum one, we do know the LC is 0.02, and for LC it is 0.01, the gauge meter. And with respect to this one, it has the more accurate LC, that is 0.05. okay. And then micrometer to check the gear teeth ranges and all, as well as you already use these things and all, no, to check thickness of the particular plate and all, we do use these micrometers. And then there are different types of micrometers like this. Next, height gauge to refer the flatness of a particular face and the height of the particular component and all. To refer it properly, we use this height gauges and all. So there are different applications for that. Even next, bevel protector to check the angles, and the bore gauges to check the particular pressures and all. And then pitch gauge will be there to check the pitch angle and the pitch length. And piler gauge used to same thing, it is also used to check the minimum gap will be there, no, 5 mm, 1 mm, like that. We use the file gauges over there. Roughness testing machine, we already use Rockwell and Brenell. And then roundness testing machine will be there. Coating thickness for the liquors and all we apply, no. So over there the coating thickness tester will be there, same as the top Rockwell testers are there. So these are the different measuring instruments we do follow. I hope this video might help you a lot to learn these all the things. So this might help you a lot to face the interviews in a better manner. Thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe our channel to support us to generate more contents. Thank you all.